As we talk about cosmic connections with others, the subtopic is just like me. And I want to start from that premise that we are all cosmically connected to one another, regardless of our nationality, our race, our sexual preferences, our religious or political affiliations. We are one. And knowing that we are each a reflection of this infinite spirit, which is ever expressing and ever expanding itself, we can move towards an understanding that everyone around us reflects ourselves. I remember when I first came into this teaching, that was one of the first things that Reverend Julie said was, what you see out there is a reflection of yourself. And I thought, I don't like that, because there's a lot out there that I don't like. And I thought, that's a reflection of what I'm thinking and feeling. And so now, again, I stand in that place of remembering it's a call for love or an expression of love. Not only for the world, but for me to love myself as well. So, I also want to start with this premise that just like me, just like you, everyone is doing the best that they can with what they have, in the time that they have, in the circumstance that they are in. And when I can find compassion for myself in knowing that I'm doing the best that I can, I'm also able to transfer that compassion to those around me. So it's the law of reflection that says that what we reflect out into the world reflects back to us. So when we smile at the world smiles back. Likewise, when I project fear, anger, discontent, the world reflects that back to me. Ernest Holmes writes, when we change our reflection to that of God reflecting through us, then what comes back is the same, if not more. What comes back to us is spirit, which comes back to us is love. Cosmic connection. So how do we strengthen these cosmic connections that we have with other people? So I have 3 steps for you today. The first one is to connect with spirit, is to staying in tune with spirit. We want to stay consciously connected with spirit, remembering that we are an expression of spirit. Our song today, I Start My Day with Love, is the perfect song for this. Because how do I want to start my day? I want to start my day with love. So, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, but I want you to think about this. How many of you, the first thing you do in the morning is turn on the TV or look at your phone to read emails or read about whatever news happened in the world while you were sleeping? Okay? Checking all that. First thing, what do you do? So, we want to wake up. What's that other song? I woke up this morning and with God in my heart, with God on my mind. I woke up with God. I start my day with love. Because what we want to remember is that when we leave the house, after we've connected with our inner spirit ourselves, it reflects on everything that we do. And staying connected with spirit creates a more genuine connection out into the world. So step one is staying in tune with Spirit, starting our day with love, starting our day with that connection with the divine. The second step is connecting with ourselves to getting in tune with our very best. So it's kind of like when you start your day, do you tune into the world, or do you tune into Spirit? What are you starting with? You know, most of us, when we wake up, one of the first things we do is we have breakfast, right? We break the fast of not eating. We are also wanting to break that fast that we've had from connecting with Spirit. Using the analogy of a gas tank, let's say, or our bodies, we fill up our bodies, we fill up our tank before we step out in the world so that we are energized. And so we want to fill up our spiritual tank as well, to invoke the wisdom and compassion of Spirit to guide us throughout our day, to offer that prayer up, that I am the wisdom, I am the compassion, and I reflect this to the world. And then I invite you to top off your day. Sometimes people like to have a little snack before they go to bed at night. You know, just a little treat. Maybe a dish of ice cream, a cookie, a piece of cheese. I don't think I'm alone in this. So you want to kind of top off your tank at the close of the day. And how do we do that? By expressing gratitude for the blessings that we've had throughout the day. Being an animal lover, my cats are all outside during the day. And so when they all come in at night, they get fed. And I thank them, each one of them, for being good kitties, for coming back in. Because while I love the circle of life, I'm not quite ready for my kitties to go to a fox, right? So I want them to come back in, and I express gratitude that they've been able to be out playing all day long, but they come back in where they are safe and protected and fed. Top off your tank in the morning and at night. The third step is connecting with others. And sometimes this is really hard. But I know that other people are just like me. They're just like you. They're wanting the very best for their families, for their friends, for the world. As Centers for Spiritual Living, we say that we are creating a world that works for everyone. But what I know is that for others, people out there, that sometimes their ideas of how that looks and works is much different than my idea of a world that works for everyone. So what I invite you to do is, rather than from living from that place of I'm right, or my way of thinking is right, my ideas are right, that we live from a place of curiosity and of kindness. We're going to take a minute to take a deep breath, and I'd like to do a little practice with you. And we're going to do a mantra, and I'll put this on our website for you later today. So what I invite you to do is to just sit back in your chair, knowing that you are fully supported by Spirit, that you are supported by love and compassion. And I want you to bring up the picture in your mind's eye that imagine sitting right before you is a person that you wish to have compassion with. Maybe it's a loved one, maybe it's a stranger, maybe it is a political figure, maybe it's someone in your life that you have a difficult time with. And I'm going to read off statements, and I'm just going to ask you to just take them in. If you repeat them to yourself, that's fine, but just listen to the words as you hold this picture of someone in your mind. This is called the Just Like Me mantra. So we breathe in, we take a deep breath, knowing that where we are supported, we are safe, we are nurtured, and we are loved. And we bring into our mind's eye that person that we want to strengthen the cosmic connection with. Just like me, you are seeking some happiness in your life. Just like me, you are trying to avoid suffering in your life. Just like me, you have known sadness. Just like me, you want to be loved. Just like me, you were once an innocent child. And just like me, you are a spirit on a journey. And just like me, you are trying to avoid suffering in your life. Just like me, you are seeking happiness in your life. Just like me. Just like me. We breathe that in. We breathe it out. And so it is. Pema Chodron suggests that we live from a soft, open heart, allowing ourselves to be open and curious, allowing ourselves to live from a place of kindness and compassion. And she gives us two ideas to work with here: curiosity and kindness. So she invites us to ask questions, to be curious. So we want to ask the question, how does that idea work for you? How does your belief work for yourself and for others? Not asking it in an accusatory way or in any way to put another person on the defense, but rather from that place of curiosity, saying, I know that sometimes we look at situations differently. So I'm really curious. How does the world work for everyone from your point of view? Curiosity takes courage. Courage to stand in that place of stepping back and not being defensive of our own ideas. Courage to step back from that place of I'm right and you're wrong. You know, curiosity does not mean to condone or to agree with somebody. You can have this conversation and not necessarily come out of it agreeing. Curiosity merely means that you are willing to engage with one another, that you are willing to soften and to open your heart and your mind, and to willingly strengthen that cosmic connection that we have with another, and to accept this premise that they are just like you, wanting the very best, even though their idea of it may look different. The second premise that Pema has for us is kindness. And we've heard about this, practicing random acts of kindness. I witnessed the other day, a lady was in the store, and she got some kind of a coupon at the grocery store. You know how you get a coupon at the end of the as you're checking out, and she had been talking to this man behind her, and as Spirit worked out, she got a coupon for something that he was buying, and so she just gave it to the cashier and said, you know, can he use this on his? It turned out, because I was behind them, as it turned out, it was like $5 off his grocery bill. And the gentleman didn't know how to, the recipient didn't know how to respond. But you could see the shift in the cashier, the clerk. When she looked down and she saw that, and she saw what this lady had done, you could see it made her day, because she was witness to some kindness. So sometimes just asking that simple question of, how is your day going? Asking somebody, you know, about their day and what's going on with them can make a huge change in their life. We never know how the slightest act of kindness can change somebody's day. You know, there's a story, and I'm sure many of you heard it, about the two boys who were walking home from school one day, and one of the boys was kind of a nerdy kid, you know, and he's carrying all of his books. And the second boy thought, well, why would anybody bring all of his books home on a Friday? He really must be a nerd. The second boy had planned, he had a weekend, he was a social, you know, he was involved with the football team and had lots of friends, and so he was kind of watching this nerdy kid thinking, boy, this guy, what kind of a life does he have? Well, then he saw some bullies come along, and they knocked the boy down, they knocked his books all over the ground, and his glasses went flying, and one of the kids stepped on his glasses, and as our second boy approached the first boy, you know, he saw this sadness and how hurt this boy was, and the boy looked over and he said, you know, those guys were here jerks. Here, let me help you. And so he helps him pick up his books, and he goes on and he walks the first boy home, and they talk, and he asks him, you know, what are you going to do for the weekend? You know, are you planning to study all weekend? And the boy said no, he didn't have much to say. And so the social boy said, well, look, I'm going to a party this weekend. Why don't you come with me? And he gets him engaged. And this happens in her freshman year, and the two become good friends all through high school. And as it turns out, the nerdy boy becomes the valedictorian of the class. And so it's on graduation day. The boy is getting ready to speak, And the first boy says, graduation is a time to thank those who helped you make it through the tough years. Your parents, your teachers, your siblings, and your friends. And I am here to tell all of you that being a friend to someone is the best gift that you can give them. He says, I want to tell you a story. The young man goes on to say how on that particular Friday, he had cleaned out his locker because he intended to go home and kill himself. And he didn't want his mom to have to go back to the school and clean out the locker. And he said, thanks to those bullies who knocked my books down and broke my glasses, a new friend came into my life. And the kindness that he showed saved my life. We never know when we are going to be put into a place of making a difference. So I just invite you, never underestimate the power of your actions, because with one small gesture, you can change somebody else's life. The connection that's happening when we connect with others, with spirit, or with another, it's all the same connection with the divine. It is the very essence. It is the movement of divine within and around us and through us and between us. So creating a connection with another person strengthens our connection to spirit. And it also allows a deeper connection within ourselves. Connecting to spirit allows for more connection with others, and it creates a more genuine connection with others. So, this week as we go out, let's make that commitment to go forward each day with curiosity, with kindness, to get connected and to stay connected. To be in that place. You are just like me. Let us pray. Creator, teacher, indwelling spirit, divine love, ever expressing, ever expanding. I know that you are one with me and I am one with it, and we are all one. For there is no separation. I know that love is ever expressing and ever expanding in my life and in the life of all beings on the planet. And I know that as we go forth with curiosity and kindness, there is only compassion and love to follow. I give thanks for this. I bless this. I bless our animals. I bless the humans, all sentient life on this planet, with love and compassion and kindness. I release this into the power of this one love, one life, and together we say,